All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 154-pound division where Errol Spence Jr.'s family speaks out about Jermell Charlo's call-out. Let's talk about that, and man, we need to get that fight. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and I'm getting amped up about boxing again. I am starting to feel good about boxing again because my favorite boxing organization, the PBC, has been coming out with fights. These fighters have been talking about they're coming back, and it looks like it's going to be a great fourth quarter for the PBC, and hopefully that can continue into 2026. And one of the reasons that they should be able to do this is because of the 154-pound division, where there are legitimate stars in that division. Really good competitive challengers and champions in that division. Just a terrific setup at 154 pounds. And the PBC Premier Boxing Champions has the most people in that division and should be able to make a whole lot of fights like they have done in the past. That said, Jacob Spence, who is the I do believe the nephew of Errol Spence Jr. and a young fighter that Errol Spence Jr. has been talking about and putting up on his Instagram page. So shout out to Jacob Spence. He comes out with a post and says, in response to Jermell Charlo. By the way, Jermell Charlo, the 154-pound former undisputed 154-pound champion, used to be a stablemate of Errol's and put out a picture of a lion chewing on a shark. Right? Basically saying Jermell is out there to fight everybody in 154, including his friend Errol Spence. So Jacob Spence got wind of that, obviously. I'm sure Errol knew about it, and it's all good fun and dandy. He puts out a picture of a lion with a shark biting him in the back and dragging him into an ocean, and says, look, man, we're going to do you worse than Canelo Alvarez did you. And if you don't know what that is in reference to, it's that Jermell Charlo moved up to fight Canelo, got dropped one time and skitter-butted around the ring for 12 rounds to make sure he didn't get dropped again. But whatever the case was, he's coming back down to 154. So I love it, man. I love it. I hope that because Errol Spence Jr. has always said that he's open to fighting Jermell Charlo, never said he didn't want to fight Jermell Charlo. Said, hey, man, if there's enough money in it, absolutely, I'll fight him. And now there's enough money in it for it, man. The return of Errol Spence Jr. is going to be a very big thing, man. He has taken 2 years off out of the ring. Again, I hate that he does it, but this time I think it was a good 2 years to take off, provided he comes back against somebody that he can tune up with and get a good shot, look good against real quick. Man, he should be able to have a couple terrific fights with the PBC at 154 pounds, and is going to make people really mad. You know why? Because he's going to screw around and they're going to sell out the AT&T Stadium in Dallas for a fight with the fight for Jermell Charlo. That is an absolutely huge fight because one guy is from Houston, the other guy's from Dallas. Man, everybody from outside the United States should understand this. And I didn't really even understand it until I got to Texas myself, right? I was raised in the Chicagoland area and, lived out east, lived down south, but later in my life, 7 years ago, so I actually moved to Texas. And man, I'm telling you, it's its own country, bro. It is like this totally self-sufficient intellect. I mean, mentally speaking, these people are self-sufficient. Everybody rides for Texas in Texas. I mean, seriously, man, like in other states, you got, black folk against white folk or whatever, In Texas, there is a degree of that for sure. However, everybody in Texas, for the most part, says, man, don't mess with Texas. We love Texas. They got the Texas mentality. So you got two really big Texas fighters come together, man. It's going to be an absolutely huge event. And guess where it's going to be huge? it's going to be huge internationally because of the fact that because you have such a big local event, it's going to get big throughout the United States, and there's going to be people throughout the world looking and watching that fight. One of the things that kind of irritate me about the sport of boxing when we talk about it, and we talk about growing the sport, is that many people, usually from countries that don't have any fighters, are always talking about how the boxing world needs to be global, it needs to be international. No, what they really mean is they want to bring some UK fighters into the United States to get a cut of the purses and get a cut of the money so that they can then take that money right back to the UK where they came from. That's what they're doing when they bring these fighters into the United States, right? But we don't need that. We need American fighters fighting American fighters fighting Mexican fighters, because Texas and Arizona and California, man, it's just replete with Mexicans. So you're going to have a lot of people wanting to buy tickets and wanting to see these guys fights. When you put on these local fights and these guys grow to a national level and then they fight within their state, it is going to be a huge thing. That's what I'm looking forward to. As far as the fight between Errol and Jermell, it's the number one fight I want to see for Errol right now. I think that is a perfect situation for him, and it's a perfect situation for Jermell. It'll be an interesting fight if they do it because they both know each other, having been former sparring partners. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not Derek James is going to be in the corner of Spence-Charlo or not. I know that he's not going to be in the corner for Errol Spence. Errol Spence Jr. and Derek have moved on from that relationship, but Juan Guzman is a trainer for Jermell-Charlo, so it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Juan Guzman is going to take over complete training or whether he's going to fight with Derek James in his corner. All of it is going to be really interesting stuff. This is all good 2026 stuff. Now, of course, Jermell also said that Jermell, I do believe, has been ordered to fight Abbas Abreu, the guy that just beat Jonas Tellez for that WBC interim, Jermell is going to fight that guy to take the belt from Terrence Crawford. The Terrence Crawford is going to drop once he goes up to 168 pounds. But I'm telling you, this type of stuff is really good stuff. I like this type of talk between Errol's family and Jermell. It's much different than the really nasty, vicious kind of attitude that Bill Haney and Devin Haney have when they call people out, where you just know it's genuine hatred, not just talking smack and playing around, but just kind of a nasty attitude about them. That's not how Errol Spence Jr. and his family really are, or the way that they've struck me. They just seem to be like, hey, man, we're going to be quiet till it's time to fight. But if you say something to me, I'm going to say something to you. And, hey, man, we're going to get it on. But at the end of the day, man, I think this was going to be great for boxing. I think that all of these 154 pounds, the fighters all have a chance to come out the top. Like Sergey Buyachuk is no joke. Ismail Madmarov is no joke. Obviously, Sebastian Maduro is no joke. Virgil Ortiz is no joke. Jaron Ennis is no joke. Errol, Jermell. It's just so thick through that division, man, that it's got to be the best division. Right now, it's the best, most heavily stacked division in boxing. But watch how these guys play, the non-PBC fighters, when their promoters play the game to see if they can kind of section off a belt and do their own thing. I think more than likely that's what's going to happen. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comments section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces, and have an absolute wonderful day. Peace.